Hey, this is Val. Thanks for purchasing a Room to Dance paint party kit. I'm really excited for you to try this magical rainbow moon and to walk you through it. If you want to get out your kit, double check that you have everything that you need. Just put a plastic tablecloth down on your workspace and lay out your brushes, get a cup of water, and put your apron on. If you have other things that you like to paint with, like personally, I like to use a jar for my water instead of a cup. I also like to have a separate cleaning area for my brushes and an easel. So if you have those things and want to use them, go for it. Otherwise, you can paint flat on the table. So you'll notice that your canvas already has a tracer on it. That's just to help you with placement. If you want to deviate from that, go for it. I am starting by adding some colors to the palette, working from the inside to the outer part of the moon as we go. Same with the stream or the river. And so I find that it's easiest to start with the lightest color, and in this piece of art, it's the yellow. So if you want to start with your bright yellow, and I'm using that 1-inch chip brush, and just go side to side, all the way from the top to the bottom of the moon, and then from the furthest to the closest of your water. And this is sort of a little bit off center towards the right. And after you finish the yellow, repeat the same thing again with the orange. These strips are anywhere from a 1/4 inch to a full inch wide, so just use your creativity. So some of my best advice here is to keep your wrist loose as you're going side to side. Try to give yourself a little bit of grace if you go outside the lines. It really doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, you're going to be painting right over the lines when it comes to the water and the trees. Those are just a guide for you, and you'll still be able to see them as you put the layers of paint on here, because the final part where you see those tracer marks will actually be black and then white on top of that. So don't even worry if you can still see those. You don't have to try to cover them. So take your sponge and get it wet. You're just going to dry it off a little bit on your hand and then dab, 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 working from the inside out, the lighter color towards the darker color. And this is just going to press the paint into the canvas to try to cover up any white background. And this neon paint is awesome. It looks so good in LED lights and in black light, but if we're able to get a couple coats of paint on the canvas, it really brings out those colors when you shine it in those lights. So next, I'm just adding the next few colors. You're going to want to bring in your blue next to the green, and same thing all the way down. Followed by, and I did wash my brush when I went from the blue to the pink, just so you know. And so I did the pink on the outsides, and then I'm coming back through, mixing a little bit of pink and blue for that pretty purple. And then of course you do have purple in your paint assortment, so you can use that as well. Just kind of blending them a little bit at the edges. Let the sponge do some of that work for you. So just bring it up to the edge of the next color. And it's okay if you go over the trees. It's okay. Bringing that purple all the way down into the water. It looks so good already. So good. And as you can see, the one I'm working on right now, as opposed to the one in the background, looks different from each other. And that is okay. Like, we want these to be unique. So get your sponge ready. Use a new corner this time as you are touching in on the orange and pink. And then switch it over to the other side when you work on the green and the blue. That way your color placement is where you want it for right now. So next, what I'm going to be doing here is adding a second layer to all of what you've just done, starting with the yellow, moving downward again through the moon, through the water, and then doing the orange, doing the green, the pinks, the blues, the purples. So you're just trying to get this a little bit thicker this time, and you're using a pulling motion to the side. So as you're working, for example, on the pink, you're going to be pulling it sharply to the left into the orange. And then other way around, when you're working from the blue into the green, drag it kind of sharply to the right. And that's going to give you the illusion of water once we add all these layers. Followed by the sponge again on the moon, and just dabbing that in, giving it some craters. You can do many layers on the moon. So if you're not happy with it yet, it's okay.